Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm going to do my best to build you a streamlined video here for this fireplace design. And hopefully you're looking at the printed copies of this in my classroom. If not, you're online, you're going to have to struggle through remembering all this. Or I'm going to design it right here alongside, so it shouldn't be so bad. Alright, little things before we get going is, sorry about that, making sure that you're in the right file format. So if you're really trying to make a new design and bring up this type of menu, you got to be working in the right units. That's this. And then the dimension styles on this one, if you type in DIMSTY, if you want everything to look the same as what you're seeing here, you've got to make sure that you're in architectural units. So you just drop this down, change it to architectural, it just displays this a little bit better. And then text height, you want to check that it's 0.125. And that should set you up where if you put measurements on there, it's going to look the right way. Also, the text alignment should be horizontal. Most of my students should know that already. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to box this thing out with the 7 by 6 inch rectangle to begin with. I'm going to actually align this right to the other one. Help me and you see things. 7, 6, 7. Close. Okay, so for these bottom brick layers, we're going to offset this bottom line. Offset. It's tricky in school. Sometimes you got to click this too many times. I don't know why it does that. On my computer, I can click it 3 times and it's going to start the first offset. On the school computer, sometimes you got to click it 4 or more. So we're doing this. It's 1/4 of an inch. You can type in the fraction of the decimal. 2 of these. Okay, so looking at this measurement, what's tricky about this drawing is the heights. This line right here, or this set of measurements, 3 3/8 inch up to this line right here. The measurement to get to that point it's actually this line here from the edge. So what we're doing is we're adding. This is an 1/8 inch wide. There's a measurement up here. 1/8 inch plus 7/8 is a full inch to do this line. So we're going to put a line going vertically, 3 3/8 long, an inch in, and start building the fireplace brick or framework, the mantle. So what you do is you got to make sure that this is on the polar tracking tool, or this doesn't work for you. All right. So you have to have that highlighted in blue and clicked. You turn, then you go to your line tool. You make sure your line is on here, and then you can drag to the right along that line and get those green dots. Type in 1, enter. It'll put in 1 inch over where it's starting that line. Now you're going to go up, type in 3 minus symbol, 3/8. Enter, enter. Finish that. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Whoop, turn the line off. Line tool on, tracking to the left now. Type in 1, enter. So it'll go over that inch, start the line, and then you're going to type in 3 minus symbol, 3/8. And then connect those two. So we've got now, it's just because this, I'm working with that only because that was the easiest known measurement that I can see in this diagram, period. And it's tricky, but then what you're doing is using offsets. We did this line right here, so we do an 1/8 inch offset, and we can box around the whole thing with this, and then we can offset these lines here, and we'll get these little corners later. All right, so we're going to do a offset outward. This is important to keep track of because otherwise it'll throw everything off. Clicking this 3 times to start this offset tool. Outward, 1/8 of an inch. Outward, 1/8. Alright, and this is going to teach you how to do some little trim work and extending. Remember, this is computer drawing. It's you're replacing really legitimately hand tools to do this. You can select and grip anything that has these. Oh, sorry, I'm still on the. You want to hit escape before you do anything, and you're just using the selection tool to do this. You can select and click on that line, and it has those grip points. You can move it, or you can drag it and extend this out, and you can pull or track the length that you want. And just click it like that, and then you can click on this one and do the same thing and just match these 2 ends up. So you can actually stretch things out and use the tracking in the program. This, again, it has to do with this. It's grab the endpoint, stretchy, find the other one so you can know where to stop, and then grab, click that one, grab, pull, snap those together, enter, and we're done with this framing. The next one, we're ignoring this still. We got to go 3/8 in and another 1/8 inch in from that with offsets. So I'm going to offset like 3-4 times, 3/8. We're going to do both of these together. Do this one and then 1/8 now, just because it's going to be faster later. Click this, go down 3/8, offset inward 1/8. Okay, and then we're going to use the trim tool and drag through here and click these little points. And I want to zoom in. This, click, click. Okay, so now you're starting to see the whole thing come together. These little chamfers, they're called. This is not going to look like this. You're going to see it on yours for the first time. It's going to say, you're going to think fillet, like as in fillet of fish at McDonald's. No, it's a fillet in the engineering world. And drop that down, you have chamfer. Chamfers are done in a lot of different ways, but the easiest way is to just type in 2 distances from the corner point that you want the angle to be built at. Type in distance and type in 1/8 twice, just trust. Enter, 1/8, enter. So now what you did is you preset it to go an 1/8 inch down and over for whatever angle you need to create when you're doing this. And it's this outside one here. Click those 2 endpoints. Click. Oh, you gotta click this tool in between each time you use it. Now, it'll save the setup though, meaning those 1/8 measurements you won't have to keep re-entering unless you want to change the chamfer tool setting. Click. Click. Oop. Okay. Now the brickwork. These bricks are all made up of 5/8, so we're going to do the bricks that go and make up the border around the fireplace first, because it's a little bit easier to understand how this works this way. So, they give you these measurements, 2 3/4 and everything, and it's actually not the easiest way to do it. All of the brick heights everywhere are 1/4 inch. All of the widths are 5/8 of an inch. So if you do offsets and some trim work, you go as offset. This is going to be for your top row of bricks, 5/8 of an inch down. We're going to have to offset this one 5/8 in. And then you're going to want to cut 2 lines, trim away these. And now you can see how this is set up. And now we're going to work with this array tool after we put in our first little brick line here. So go to this corner, or either corner, it doesn't matter, to get a tracking line started, to get a 1/4 inch measurement in there, 1/4, and make your first brick. Alright. Find my drawing notes here. I'm going to zoom out so you can see this. My scroller is funny. Okay, array is a great tool. You just have to pay attention to what happens when this thing comes on. Select and then hit enter, and you'll get this array of things come up. You can see it's 4 across and 3 high. So you just change this to 1 going up. I don't need that many. I'm going to change this number to, I believe is, I think we need 16 of these that are going to be a 1/4 inch apart. So the between number here, you just change this to 0.25, or you can type in 1/4 and close. Okay. we're going to do the same thing, and we'll do it the array, and then I'm going to show you how to copy the column of bricks over here. There should be 8 bricks total. So we're going to start with your first one by drawing, going here, coming down 1/4 of an inch. And then across. Finish that. Click array. Click this. Click enter. And now we're going with sorry, we need 1 column. We're going to have to go a negative distance here, so go negative 0.25. And then as soon as whoop, sorry about that, I was supposed to type in the negative 0.25 here. So we're going down and the spacing is there, and I think there's 8 total. Enter. There we go. So if you pay attention to it and understand the basic columns and spacing things here, we're just going vertically and horizontally, it's not hard to do this. And then if you're zoomed in like I am and now know how to use this, click on one side of any object. This is just great to learn. So you have to, number one, be good at selecting things. So you're going to just zoom in enough where you can click in here and drag. Go definitely from right to left to get that green box. Click, let go, click again, grab. Whoop, sorry, I'm going to go back over here. Oh, I'm sorry, I need to close this first. But now I'm going to select this. Oh, it's trying to go back to that. Just click home and then click copy. And then it's telling where you're going to base point is. Don't click anything that's highlighted. Click here on a corner. So what you can do is go to this corner here and move everything over and click it one more time, and it'll just keep placing copies wherever you click. When you learn how to do that, you just hit enter and it's done. We'll use that again doing the, sorry, my zoom is being thrown off by this recording program, I think. Hopping around on me. So that's fun and it's easy. Not really easy, but it's fun to look at. It's definitely satisfying. Now we're going to deal with these lines here, which you've got a simpler way of doing it than most people would imagine. You're going to offset this top line down 1.25 inches. I'm looking at the measurements here. You're going 1.25 inches, or 1.25 is easier. And you're going to go 1/4 down, 0.25, 1/4 down, 0.25 again. Then you're going to go 1/8 down, I'm sorry, I'm just typing in 1/8 for this. And that's all you need, I believe, as far as the layers go, because we're going to make one more little layer thing going here. Alright, so if you note, the angles and measurements are on this side of your diagram. You can actually just come in here with a line. We're going to trim away what we don't need, is the bottom line here, so you need to understand that. Click that and connect those 2 dots. Sorry, connect the line. And just as you're dragging it out of 45-degree angle, it's going to tell you you're at 45 degrees, so you don't have to do anything with that measurement. Then you're going to go with a line. It's 1/8 inch over from where this starts. So you're going to start tracking, type in 1/8, and then just wait till it locks in at 45, and then you've had that 45-degree angled line in there. You can see there's just a little bit of drawing trickery that you can use to make this a lot easier now. Here you don't need a length for this line. It's going to be at 135, which is the opposite drawing angle. When you're going up into that angle, it's not 45, it's 135 when you're in the opposite direction. But then you just cut away all this and you're left with your fireplace. Alright, so I'm going to do that again on the other side. I'm not going to mirror that stuff because it's not really necessary. You just come down at a 45-degree angle, enter, leave it be. Your next line comes in over 1/8. drop it down. This one's going to be that 135 again, enter. And then this one going up should be 45. It's going up at a 45. Click the opposite side. Trim all this. How did I deleted these lines. Let's do the. Oop. Okay, brickwork is all the same. I'm gonna put these ends on here too. Your whole bricks are 5/8 wide. Your half bricks are 5/16. Which your measurements are here and here for that. So now that you've seen this tracking thing going on, you can go over, drag to the right, type 5/8, go vertically. That's your first full brick. The top course, these are called courses in brick world, masonry world. Your second course starts with a half brick, and that's just 5/16 in. Sorry here. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with our array work here to make our life easier. Click the object, hit enter, and it's going to start your array. You don't need those three going vertically. Change that to 1. Step 1. When you click away from this, it's still going to leave this menu up there, and it's going to give you the preview of what's going on, which is really nice. So you've got 4 of those. You need more. We're going to change the spacing to 5/8 for the bricks. Take a look at our number. There should be 11 total, I believe. If you click anywhere else in this menu, it's going to preview and show you. You don't have to like finish it until you know it's right. And that's exactly what it should be with this little sliver on the end. Close that array, click array again, repeat, hit enter, change it to 1 row, change this to 11. Change this to 5/8. It's actually very satisfying to learn how to use array. So, alright, and then we're going to finish this off. What you've got is just a total measurement of 7 inches, 4-inch width here for the chimney. So you got 1.5 inches that it comes in, and then it goes up. So you just got to go this inch, align tool on. Start tracking 1.5 inward, and then go vertically. Finish that off. We're going to cut that out after we draw the other side. Look at it again. Trim here and here, these lines away. We're going to do offsets for the rest of the chimney. Brickwork here, remember it's 0.25 or 1/4. Do that a handful of times here because it's just easier at this point. One more. Okay, and then the brick patterning is going to be the same situation. You're going to start off with a half brick on this design, or you could start off with a full brick on the other side. I like just dealing with the left to right on patternings. It's much easier to just stay consistent with this. I'll show you what I mean. Just specify the first line there. Going to track in 5/16 for a half a brick. Finish that. And then we'll do a full brick here, 5/8, full brick. And then we're going to do our array work. Click on a brick, line, click enter, change the 3 to 1, change the spacing to 5/8. How many of these do we need? 6. Looks like beautiful. What's cool is you can depending on how you want to do this, you can just repeat that process, or you can copy these arrays, because that's great. Oh, breaking my own rule here. Try and do this type of dragging thing to select groups by going right to left every time, and it should come up with this array. You're going to have to make it go away by clicking the home thing. Click copy, and this is the best. Like, you don't click on what you want to copy to move it. You click where you want to move it from, and then you can just like go to that same spot and space, because it makes life easier. And then just hit enter, and they go away. So that's how you copy and paste the arrays. It's beautiful once you learn it. Whoop. Click array, this, click enter. 1, 6, 5/8. Done. You should actually be able to copy from here. No, maybe not. You want to specifically use the copy tool to do this, because it's what enables you to grab another, you select from a point, copy, select the objects, hit enter, and then select the base point. And you go to the same point in space to finish the copying of that. So you can do it the array, or you can do one and copy and paste. Excuse me. But outside of adding all of the measurements, there's the complete fireplace. My style arrays added, using trim and offsets and all the things we do to make it happen. Thank you for coming. I'll see you soon.